Welcome, everybody. We're so grateful that you're joining us today. Wherever you're watching from, we pray that this content blesses you. Let's jump right in. Welcome, everybody. We're so glad that you're here. Let's go around the table, introduce yourself and what you do here at the Burg Church.
I'm Jonathan Martin. I get to serve as the adult ministries pastor.
I'm Sarah Gadd. I'm the creative team director.
I'm Trey Melton, and I'm the newly broadcast director.
2 weeks deep into a new title, baby.
Come on,
It's actually
baby.
probably a month now.
I should
That was
up
like
a little
Christmas.
bit. I'm the broadcast and online stream director.
He just keeps adding words every time we have a conversation.
Yeah.
Impressive.
We'll see how long I can get it.
He's making his own title.
He's going to have 2 slides just to fit your title in it. All right, let's start with the fun question. Olympics are coming soon. If you were forced into the Olympics and had to compete in one category in front of the world on national television, what category would it be?
Let's go cross country skiing. Is that even a category? Like the
I
little,
think so.
like
Sure.
the little where they shoot the gun, they
Yeah,
ski
yeah.
a little
Yeah.
bit. I think that would be kind of fun.
That's sick.
Yeah, I
That
don't
would
even
be
know
cool.
what it's called,
That sounds
but
exhausting. But
yeah.
it sounds really cool. Are we
It's
doing
like-
summer and winter, or are we just doing
Just winter because
Yeah.
it's coming up
Yeah.
in like 2
Winter.
weeks. Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
I don't even
think-
know all that they do in winter. I mean, I've always wanted to learn how to snowboard, so I would love to snowboard and like take it as an opportunity to learn and crash in front of the world. But
Yeah.
you get an opportunity to go on that half pipe, that would be crazy.
That would be sick.
I'd probably just go smooth right down the middle just to play it safe, but it would be sick.
You wouldn't win, but it'd be fun.
Nah, bro, we would send it for sure.
The adrenaline, though. I'm always been told I'm light on my feet and pretty elegant, so I would go with ice skating.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
We almost held it together. That was
What?
close.
No, I mean I
Yeah.
The
think
real
I'm pretty-
question
I'm
is,
pretty-
what outfit would you wear?
I'm pretty agile and flexible. Something like the Will Ferrell movie.
Yeah,
no.
that's what I was
A little
thinking.
flow.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely tights, but with a nice little flow behind me, like a cape
Cape.
almost.
That'd be
Yeah.
sick. That'd be sick.
Mine would be curling. I've always kind of
Classic.
wanted
Yeah.
to do that.
Safe.
So,
Really?
yes.
Okay.
Low
Would you be
risk
a
of
thrower or a sweeper?
More the thrower, I think.
Have you
yeah.
played the curling game on your phone?
No, I didn't
Oh,
know
that's
there
where
was
we
one.
start.
They have an app
Oh, perfect.
that does curling so you can practice.
Start
I
your
gotta go
training now.
download
The
it.
next Winter
Yeah,
Olympics
there
should
we
be
go.
ready.
Yeah.
That's sick.
The Burg Church is going to become our own nation so that we can represent in the Olympics.
Yes.
How sick would that be? So this past Sunday, we talked about Exodus chapter 15. The Israelites have now gone through the Red Sea, and they approached this body of water, this place called Mara, which means bitter, because the water that they approached after not having any water in 3 days was bitter. And I don't know, I guess somebody tasted it and they were sacrificed as the dummy, and they found out that this water was bitter, it was undrinkable, and they begin to get into their old ways of complaining and growing in frustration towards Moses, which we know they do over and over again throughout the book of Exodus. And I think that this story teaches us something that's very powerful. It's that being bitter never gets better. And I think bitterness is something that we all have to combat in our lives. So bitterness, to me, in my own definition, is untreated disappointment. I think bitterness is something that's rooted from disappointment that goes untreated in your life. It's lingering, it's long-lasting, it's not momentary anger, pain, frustration, or resentment, but it's something that continues to impact and affect your life. And I think that one of the ways that we can understand if we're struggling with that or not is by looking at some of the side effects that we have in our life when we're walking through that. So in seasons that you guys have experienced it, because I think it's a secret that none of us are perfect at this table. So, sorry, I mean, that's not a shot, but it felt like one,
it's
so I
good.
apologize
It's
for
honest.
that.
No, just
It's
kick me
honest.
on
Yeah.
down. No worries.
None of us
honest.
are perfect. We've all struggled and combated some of these things. When you've walked in seasons or moments in your life where bitterness has become something that you've had to navigate, what are some of the side effects that you've experienced in your life that helped you recognize maybe this isn't something that's just momentary? Maybe this is a deeper sense of bitterness.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that come to mind, which is maybe good. I don't know. There's a lot of things that come
Yeah.
to mind, but just that there's a lot of ways that bitterness can show up in my life and surface. One of the ways that came to mind was just being overly critical
Mm.
of people in my life, whether that's close friends or people I work with or just different situations that I'm not even involved in, but I just want to be critical of it because I think by being critical, you feel like you have a level of control, and it might make you feel better because it's like, well, hey, I'm not feeling great. I'm bitter about this thing, but at least if I can say this about somebody or
Right.
to somebody, then it makes me feel like I have a level of control to where life is somewhat better because I'm also making somebody else feel bad. I don't know if that's like a good pastoral advice, but that's how it can come out.
No,
Honestly.
I think that. So my question would be: is like on a deeper sense of that, do you feel like you're trying to find something that you can control because of the things that you're struggling within you cannot?
Yes. Yeah. And I think that that's a normal thing for and a response whenever especially if we feel like life might be a little out of control, a little uncertain, and we might be bitter about that. We look for something that we can control, and that can be a lot of different things in our lives. But one of the things could be being critical about other people to kind of put them in their place. So yeah, I think, critical. I also find being passive aggressive, or just being aggressive with people can be another way that bitterness can come up. It's like, you know what, I'm just going to make this comment. I'm not going to address the situation directly, but I'm just going to make this comment here because I don't really like where my life is at, or I don't like you. And so I'm going to do that. And hopefully
Just slide
kind
this
of
in
kind
there.
of another way of how
Right.
being critical can kind of surface as well. So
Yeah. What about you guys?
I would say mine's attitude. I'm a little different. I'll pop off right on you, just to be honest. And I've gotten way better at that. But yeah, I think attitude for me, because if I'm just not having it, I'm just not having it. And I'm going to let you know, and I'm not going to beat around the bush. It's probably going to be aggressive, not passive aggressive. So it's a little more of a, not dirty way, but like angrily way, I guess, instead of just being like upset. But I feel like you fall into like victimhood almost, like everybody, maybe somebody's just talking and it feels like you're being attacked or something like that. Way easier, right? So and
what you're experiencing is this: I'm now becoming defensive and even offensive because I'm trying to protect a wound. It's a deeper wound inside of me that now it's like you're I want to say like a mother of a puppy, and the puppy's hurt, and now you just go into, I'm going to attack everything around me because this injury and this soft spot. So
and it feels better in the moment. Like it feels good in the moment sometimes. Let's be honest, but you're only making that wound a little deeper. I think so. Sarah.
I think it's like kind of both of what you said. Like it goes hand in hand. Like you get offensive, and then you can make critical statements towards people, and then like with that, I then tend to like fixate on it. So then like I can't just like let it go. Like it's all I kind of think about, and I just kind of replay everything. Yeah. So it just kind of builds from there.
Yeah. I think for me, I become like fatigued. I'm just exhausted. And it's not by anything that I'm experiencing or the amount of work that I have to do, but it's because of the constant weight that I'm carrying because it has not been addressed. And I think it's important for us to understand how it kind of rears its head in our life. Yeah. And thank you guys for being vulnerable and honest about that. And I think it's important for us to have an understanding of what it looks like in our life, because that's the only way that we can combat against those things and be healed and walk in forgiveness from that bitterness, is if we understand what it looks like when it shows up. Yeah. And so, which I think is as important or far more important than understanding what it looks like in your life. So maybe you guys answer the next part of that question of, if this is what it looks like in your life, and this is a trigger for you to where I'm walking in an unpure spirit right now. I'm struggling with bitterness, frustration, resentment, anger. How have you combated that? How have you kind of turned the corner and allowed God, to heal that, to restore that moment, whether it's a relationship, an interaction, whatever it is, to help you get past being in that unhealthy mindset?
Yeah, I think coming to the Lord in prayer is one of the first steps that we can do. And ironically, a lot of times whenever we are bitter, there's a piece of us that wants to stay bitter.
Yeah.
And because, as Trey mentioned, like, you kind of enjoy it a little bit. There's like a little bit of, especially whenever those ways that we respond to bitterness and it surfaces in our life, it kind of feels good in a little bit. And so part of us wants to stay bitter. And I know that as soon as I come to the Lord and try to hand these things over to him, which is what I should do, and what is where life is found and where the peace and the joy and of Christ comes from, I know that that's going to be the place where I receive that healing and where I can actually work through that. And so sometimes I want to avoid that, which is really weird. There's like a tension there, and I don't know if you guys have ever felt that.
Yeah.
But whenever I do, and just say, Jesus, I turn this situation over to you. I release this person or this thing to you, and sometimes you just go to Jesus one time, and there's like, wow, there's so much peace. And sometimes it's like a multiple times a day, every day for a while.
Sure.
Like, man, depending on how deep-seated this wound is or deep-seated this bitterness is, it might take a lot of times of just continuing to come to Jesus and hand it over to him, but trusting that as you do, he's the one who satisfies your soul, and he's the one where peace is found. So yeah, I think, going to Jesus helps with the healing, because that's where our healing is found.
Yeah, like with that, I think my prayer is like, give me the eyes to see people the way you see them, and the heart to love them the way you love them, because sometimes that's hard. But we just need God to open that up for us.
Yeah, you need to be given a new lens.
Yes.
It's like having to wipe these things off 400 times
Right.
a day. Especially when you have little ones putting their fingers all over it.
Is it my turn?
Sure.
Okay. For me, yes, going to the Lord, and I 100% agree with that. But I kind of look at like anger or bitterness or whatever it is as like energy, and you need to burn the energy. So I'm a big venter. So Jake and my wife, sometimes I call them, and I just need to let this out. I don't need you to say anything. I don't need you to fix it for me. Like, I just need to get this off my chest so I'm not holding on to this all day.
Yeah.
And maybe that's not the best way to do it, because sometimes Jake's just like, all right, man. So I'm just like, all right, thank you. Like, I'm good. And, but that's for me. Like, I need to burn that energy out of me, drain it out of me, pray about it, and then I can go back in with like a refocused mind.
Yeah.
Because sometimes if you go to the Lord and you're still bitter and angry, your prayer might not be what it should be, if that makes sense. So, like, I just need to get it out of me, whether it's not to the person, but just vent it out of me, and then go and pray, and then refocus on, all right, what's the objective here? What do I need to take care of?
Yeah, and I think that that's a really good point, and it relates to the idea of confession.
Yes.
Like, this is what my reality is. This is how I feel, and I don't need anybody to correct me in the moment. I just need to get this off my chest and say exactly how I feel, what I'm feeling. And because at the end of the day, like, we don't live in a make-believe world. Sometimes in Christianity, we can try to kind of
This little bubble.
make our emotions a little bit more like, well, I'm not really feeling that, or like, well, that's not what I should be feeling, so therefore we don't say it.
Right.
And I think being able to just be raw and honest with your friends and with Jesus, that's what Jesus wants.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because whenever he deals and we deal in the world of reality, and whenever we're honest about what reality is for us, then he can meet us there.
Right.
And that can be the place of true healing. So I thank you for that.
Well, if you look at the biblical roadmap to forgiveness and accountability, it's both going to God and also having accountability and admitting it to your neighbor, like you said. So, like, that's not just a physical practice. That is very much so a biblical roadmap for us to have accountability, because the truth is, like, sometimes you're not the first one to recognize the bitterness in yourself.
Right.
Most of the time, I'm grateful that I'm married to somebody who really will let me know where I'm really at any time. And she helps me with self-awareness. Before I even see things, she sees things in me. And sometimes it's even before I respond in an unhealthy way. And she is quick to say, like, hey, you need to go play golf. Hey, you need to go get dinner with the guys. Hey, you need to go somewhere else and just take some time to yourself because you need to decompress or process through some things. So I think that it's important for us to understand not only what it looks like, how to combat it, and how to turn that corner, what's a healthy process for us, how can we find biblical restoration from it, but also surrounding ourselves with people who will give us good self-awareness. Yeah. And because it's probably being a good friend to tell you that you need to go take a deep breath before you pop off on somebody. Yeah. So we need people who are going to say, hey, I can feel the heaviness that you're carrying right now, and I don't need you to tell you how to fix it. I just want to help say, hey, you need to go take a minute, and that's okay. Yeah. And so because, I mean, we talk about it all the time. It's okay to not be okay, but it's not okay to stay there. Like it's okay to walk through a moment, but it's not okay to make that the way that you live. And that's why Jesus transforms the bitter water in Exodus chapter 15. In the Bible, the Israelites are complaining to Moses, as they do time after time. Great song. And so they, yeah, exactly. I was waiting for it. And so Moses goes before God. God tells him to grab a stick and throw it in the water, which we know is a foreshadowing of Jesus, who saved us from our sin and created a life when we were destined for death. And they were able to drink from this clear water. And then they were taken from a place called Mara to Elim. And Elim had 12 springs and 70 palm trees, which I'm just like, who sat there and counted all of that to describe this in the Bible? Mm-hmm. And so how cool to be so detail-oriented at the time, I guess. And so they go from this place of bitterness to this place of rest and restoration. And I think that it's important for us to have practices that help us get over bitterness. It's also important for us to have practices that are proactive to keep us healthy. What are some of the things that you guys do to make sure that, okay, I've processed this. Thank God I didn't pop off on anybody. Thank God I didn't come in and just instigate. I didn't fixate on this. I processed through this well. Now I'm moving forward. How do you keep moving forward in a healthy mindset? With intentionality so that you don't go back into the bitterness that you've already found breakthrough from?
Man, that's a really good question. I like that. That's a good one. Because, these practices and rhythms of our life can help the trajectory of our life. And so one thing, as you ask the question, I'm like, man, I need to do more of this as well. One thing I've done in the past is just a little gratitude ritual. So start the morning with 3 things I'm grateful for. It can be as simple as coffee, my family, and a car that starts. Yeah. Or it can be as complex as like massive things like whatever's going on in your life that's huge. It can be big or small, but I think taking the time to notice certain things in your life that you have that you're so grateful for, and that like if they were to go away, that would be like a minor inconvenience or a major detriment to your life. Yeah. And so, just being constantly reminded of what you're grateful for. And so gratitude ritual, 3 things, start your day.
That's very good.
Yeah. I actually have an app for that.
Oh,
so
wow.
I keep a journal and I can go back and look at, like I post a picture
Sarah's
with
the
it
expert.
and
Yes.
I list my 3 things, or it's like a picture of something beautiful.
You want to plug the
from
app?
that
It might
day.
help some people.
Yeah, what's the
I
app?
think it's literally the gratitude app. So yeah.
Nice.
There you
They
go.
have a free version and a paid version. So
If you put in the code, the Burg, I'm
Yeah,
just kidding.
Affiliate links are coming.
Yeah. But I do that and I journal. So I kind of, both of those go hand in hand for me. So.
Oh, gosh. I don't know. Can I just say both their answers and agree? I don't know. I always think like something has to change. So I think, what is going to change? What changes now? Like whether it's how you handle the situation next time, or like your posture and your situation, or whatever you're going through. I think being grateful for things definitely helps and kind of slows everything down and puts things in perspective for you. Also, like what's really important to me,
Right.
in this situation or in whatever, in life or whatever, right? So I guess just kind of slowing yourself down and thinking it step by step instead of big picture. Sometimes you don't need to just look at the whole big picture. You need to break it down a little bit. Mm-hmm. And then you find out some of these things really aren't as important as we make them. And we just blow everything out of proportion because it feels like a big weight on us, when really if you dissect it, it's like, this is really a small thing that means absolutely nothing.
Yeah. I completely agree. For me, like some of the ways that I do that is by writing down my priorities in life, and then I am analyzing how is this thing impacting these priorities. Because, we will fixate on how it's impacting us at work quicker than we will at home.
Yeah.
And then because home is the most comfortable place on earth, for hopefully all of us, home is my most comfortable place. It's my happy place. It's the one that I will show those emotions the biggest because I'm the most comfortable at my own home. And so what I'll have to do is analyze how is this impacting these things at home, or how can I keep these things healthy so that I can push past and keep walking in breakthrough and remind myself like it's not that important, because at the end of the day, it's the cost isn't worth it. Like if it's going to injure every relationship that I have, it's not worth it.
Right.
And so pressing past that and keeping your priorities at the center. So I would just encourage anybody, if you're walking in a spirit of bitterness, it can be anything. I think there was 3 specific things that like God kind of laid on my heart just to pray over our church for, is bitterness towards a family member. Maybe it was a parent, a grandparent, aunt, uncle, sibling, somebody who mistreated you. You don't have to be best friends with them to have healing from that brokenness.
Sure.
And we're not condoning people being hurt by people, but we are saying that you don't have to walk into the chains of that bitterness, that God wants to bring freedom and healing into your life. Maybe it's a coworker or a work relationship, or maybe it's a leader or a mentor that you had in your past. Whatever it may be, God wants to bring healing and breakthrough into your life, and he wants to take you from bitter to better. And the only way that you can see that is through restoration in Jesus Christ. He's the only one who can heal us. We can do all the things we want. You can go work out, you can go hit a punching bag and pop off at the gym. But if you go home and your spirit's not been healed, it's going to still follow you. So make sure that you are seeking him for restoration, and then setting up healthy habits in your life to stay in breakthrough and not go back to that life of bitterness. But thank you guys so much for joining us today. I appreciate all of you. And you make me better. You make our church better. And thank you guys for watching. Wherever you're watching from, we hope to see you on a Sunday soon at the Burg Church at 8, 9:30, 11, or 12:30. And always remember, at the Burg,
we the fam.